I'm Therenki Ramacharaka. Now, I've made a couple of videos here just in the last day or two. Well, posted videos. I think I made one here too today. But at least one of the videos that I posted about sense of humor was an old one that I resurrected from my archives and reposted here now. About sense of humor. Now, I want to talk about that just a little more deeply and briefly. I could very easily get misunderstood, verbal misunderstanding over this matter. So I want to provide some clarification. I'm trying to help you as a member of the human species evolve, or be able to rise above fear in the least here, because fear is an extremely low emotional vibration and emanation, and it serves as food for our own self-destruction and for dark forces, for lack of a better word at the moment, that feed on such energy as fear, human fear. And also, it's a very healthy thing for our organism and total to be able to laugh. Not just biologically, but at every level of our being. To be able to laugh. So, one major source of verbal misunderstanding, I mean, above and beyond ambiguous terminology, is, excuse me, mixed levels of discourse during interlocution with other people. I could be talking about something from, say, like a meta viewpoint, or meta point of view, whereas somebody else is interlocuting with me over the same thing, the same dialogue going on, the same, in a verbal interaction, is approaching the subject from a different level of talk, or a different conceptual level of examination of the subject at hand. Well, this can lead to misunderstanding. Let's say I talk about something having humored me. And I'm thinking at a level at which, let's say, I can find humor in anything. But no, I don't always find myself in a position to do that. I mean, what with emotions getting riled up, etc. But the possibility is there for something that to which I respond with emotional tumult. The possibility is there for me to find it otherwise. Maybe jump above the circumstances at hand, or that are that are the point of the discussion at the moment, and see them from a level at which there is humor involved. Well, the other person may not understand that level, and I may not understand that the other person is not understanding me at that level, and therefore might assume that I'm a psychopath or whatever, Now, there are some things that I think are obviously not funny. Given the way another person is laughing extensively over, it's not a person who seems to be capable of rising above low, unhealthy humor. Okay. There may not be a level of discourse misunderstanding in such cases, but I'm not talking about that. Some things are pretty clear. Hey, that's not funny. And here you are laughing over, let's say, a video of a kid getting hit by a bus, and you're replaying it over and over, and you're getting other people to come over and laugh at it, and you keep playing it over and over, and every time the kid gets hit in the video, you crack up. Okay, so, all right, let's say you were looking at this thing from a level at which all things are funny. Well, it's a pretty far stretch, really, to watch a video like that and just jump right to whatever level or realm there's humor in that. I mean, you have to stretch pretty far. And anybody who keeps replaying it and cracking up and getting other people to come over and crack up about it, that's practically unimaginable. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. You see, all manifested phenomena, all phenomena, the entire cosmos can be understood as a motion picture show cast upon the screen of consciousness by way of universal will. If we can tune into that level, well then, we can see that it's all like a motion picture show. And as I've said before, I don't think that humanity was really meant to get involved with false ego and solely the affairs of the physical plane of manifestation and its lower astral aspects or corresponding emotional realm, the lower levels of that, and the lower levels of its mental aspect. I don't think that we have to be completely involved in that and identify with it and take it that that's all there is. Well, I mean, this is a level at which fear is a common thing. Anger is a common thing. Hate is a common thing. Greed is a common thing. Guilt is a common thing. Ignorance is a common thing. A low degree of consciousness, awareness is a common thing. And we get trapped. It's hard to find our way out. One way out, perhaps, is to try to find in a healthy way, that is, without giving up the seriousness, the relatively real aspect of the physical plane and all of its corresponding dimensions. Without giving that up, I mean, these things in themselves are real and are serious. You know, a heart attack is a serious thing. Getting hit by a bus is a serious thing. It happens. It was tragic. But it's all part of the cosmic picture show cast upon the screen of consciousness, too. That's a different level of discourse. And at that level, it can be seen as entertaining. That's a totally different level of discourse. And if it's hard for you to grasp that, to conceive of it, then you need some practice with it. Now, this does not mean giving up the seriousness of affairs. This means becoming more than what you currently are. This involves developing a way of being that is more comprehensive. And that can help you rise above the influence of dark forces, of those forces that would devolve us, whether they be external to ourselves or just internal to ourselves. In the least, it can help provide a bit of relief from the rat race of life, which can really drag us down. The drudgery, the Saturnistic aspects of earthly human existence. Become more than what you are. Rise above fear, for one thing. If you have to laugh a little bit at how things are going to help pull away from consumption by fear, then that in itself, the way I said it, it's a very healthy thing to do. It doesn't mean becoming callous. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about giving up empathy. I'm not. Not at all. To understand what I'm talking about here, might take some effort. And it's well worth it. I'm Dhiren K. Ramacharaka. Be well.